everybody, welcome back to the desk of interesting things here at Gambit Digital. We're back again with another unboxing for you today. If you couldn't tell by the description, the thumbnail, or this that's in front of me, today we're looking at the Kodak Printomatic Instant Print Camera. Now, Kodak was kind enough to send one of these over for us to look at, and if you checked out our annual gift guide over at gambitmag.com, suggest you do, you still have time to do your shopping. This camera was on that list for a couple of reasons. So you may have seen stuff like this before. This is from Kodak. They're probably the oldest name in cameras. They go back farther than anyone watching this channel. They know their stuff in the world of cameras. So what this is this one of those fancy dancy super enclosed cameras that does all the printing for you with the paper. And in fact, right there, it uses the ZINK photo paper, and they sent this package along with us. But let's kind of do a little overview here of the camera, of what you can expect from this Kodak camera. So this is an instant print camera. Inside we get one camera, you get a USB cable, a quick start guide, and the features of this camera: it's 2x3 photos. This is the prints it does. You don't need a connection for your computer or anything, and it uses zero ink or zinc adhesive backed photo paper. So you can kind of think of it like an old Polaroid in that vein, except you can peel the stickers off the back and use these in your scrapbooking or for your friends, all that sort of things. Now the camera itself is pretty interesting. It's only 5 megapixels, and that doesn't sound like a lot, and it really isn't, but we'll get back to that in a second. It's got two modes, color and black and white, which is actually pretty cool if you're looking to take some interesting shots. It has a micro SD card up to 32 gigabytes, which means you can upload your photos, anything you take on there, onto the card, and then take that onto your computer. So you don't need a computer, but you can treat this like a normal camera. You do not have to print every single picture, I don't think, and that makes it nice. It's got a built-in rechargeable battery, indicators, advanced optical viewfinder T6. So it doesn't have a digital screen on this at all. You're using an old school viewfinder, which is actually kind of neat. Automatic focus and an aperture of f2.2. Now the paper itself, for those that don't know about ZINK paper, let's take a look and see if this focuses in. Zero ink technology. It creates vibrant prints, adhesive backed photo paper, smudge proof, water resistant, tear resistant, and this contains sheets. So what's interesting about this is all the tech for the camera ink itself is in the paper. The camera doesn't do much, and it just kind of activates the paper and the photo gets transferred to it in that way. So let's open her up and let's see what we got. I haven't taken a look at this yet. Really simple package. Really enjoy the style of this camera and that old Kodak style. So let's see what we have. We have an instruction guide here. USB, you can plug it into your computer. Of course, you can plug it right into the wall. Shows you the ink. There's the button on the side. It looks like for contrast and for power. That's about as simple as it gets in terms of camera. This is basically the setup is 1 and 2, and open and close with the barcodes down. Now that is important because the camera needs to activate the ink. So if it's the wrong way around, you're not gonna get anything. So in the package, you do get a USB, micro USB cable. That's it. You don't get a charging block, but odds are you have a dozen of those laying around, and you can also just plug that into your computer. As for the camera itself, it's very well packaged in there. It's off to the side. It's off to the side. It's in the sleeve, and this is it. This is very cool. It's pretty light, not heavy at all. If you can see the back, there's nothing there, but you can just get this viewfinder. I'm not sure if you can actually see that. You can kind of see the layout in there, the overlay that you get when you take a photo. So that's really cool. If we took a look at this from all angles, the front, Printomatic 8mm 3x2 photo, the Kodak logo there. That's the optical viewfinder right there. Sensors in there, of course, and you do get a little flash. Now on the top, Here's where things get kind of cool. You do, of course, get your little clicky thing to activate the pictures, but this shows that it's going to be printing in color. This shows it's going to be printing in black and white. Now you can get some pretty awesome shots with the black and white setting right there, as opposed to the color, and the megapixel quality doesn't matter. Now that 5 megapixel isn't a lot, but you have to remember that the ink itself, this is a self-printing printer. You're not dealing with your standard format sizes when it comes to photos. So you're not going to be printing a regular photo thing. You know, you're not going to go to Walmart and get them printed out. Of course, you can, because of that SD card, do that. You're going to get the really thin paper, so it's very, very small, smaller than that camera. Now, how do you do that? Well, you go right here in the back. Pretty sure you go in the back, yeah. Open that up, and there you have the details on the inside, face down with the barcode, of course, and then all the magic happens right in there. Lanyard strap if you want to put one in, of course. And on the bottom you get your standard ports right there, your micro USB for charging, and your micro SD card there for everything else. It's a very cool system. Now, the camera itself will run you roughly about $60, I think $59.99, right around that price range. Probably find some sales here or there, but that's the general price you can get on there. So let's actually, there's the power button. I don't believe there's any power in there. So what we're gonna do is load some paper into this together, because I haven't done that yet. So let's see, instructions. Load entire contents of package with the printed side of the blue color calibration sheet facing down. Zinc paper should be glossy side up. Okay, so let's do that. Always nervous that this is going to be activated by light, but it's not. So let's put this in. Okay, we're back. Camera decided to die on me. One of these days I'll get through one video without it dying. So there is the code card, the calibration sheet that calibrates the color. It says this side down. Which way? Picture, I guess, looks like it would be this way. I guess it doesn't really matter. So we'll put it down. And we'll insert that. Okay, one pack of sheets fits in there nicely, and we will close that up. So what we're going to do now, because I'm going to let this charge for a little bit because I just opened it out of the package and we haven't done anything, and then we're going to take a couple photos, and I will be back with the results of that, and we'll actually probably take one here of something here on the desk of interesting things and print it out so we can see how fast this actually works, along with some photos and some different settings outside and the light and such, and indoors, so you can kind of get a good idea of both color and black and white. So we'll be right back with that. Okay, and we are back. I went outside and took a couple pictures using the Printomatic, and it was a pretty easy and fun experience. So you can see back here. It's red right there because it doesn't have an SD card, so it's not saving anything. It is automatically printing straight away when you do take a shot. Now, the photos themselves take about 20 seconds to come out, and they come out totally complete. So I believe it is quite a bit faster than a Polaroid or something, but this is not the kind of camera you're actually going to be using if you need real motion or action or want to take a lot of quick photos. This is more a fun secondary camera you have just to capture memories and fun times because of the paper and the ink itself. So don't expect this to be your main camera. So now let's take a look at some of the pictures that I got while I was out. The first one is a black and white photo. This is of my dog, looking quite peeved that he is getting his photo taken. Now the quality on this is actually pretty good. This was the first photo that came out, so if you have a new pack, the blue slider that you get will be the first thing that comes out, and this is the color calibration sheet. So I don't know if you have to kind of wear these printers in a little bit because everything is in the paper, or how the transfer works exactly, but when you do a black and white photo, you do get a pretty good small photo. If you can see here right on the edge, you can see a lot of reds coming in as well as over here. There's a lot of, I don't know how well it's coming through the viewfinder, you can kind of see it right there, but there is a lot of red in this image, so it is not a true black and white image like I figured it would be. You are still kind of mixing the colors as one would expect with this sort of technology. But that comes out pretty good. The quality is fine. It is 5 megapixels, but again, when you're dealing with something, you know, the size of a little bit smaller than like a credit card or something, it's going to be okay. There's the back of the ink, and of course this is peel and stick. I will actually be keeping this one because that is a cute photo. So next I went up and wanted to see how some color works. And this is a stationary shot from my backyard of one of the little wind chime things we have in the back. And yeah, this one comes out pretty good. Again, the color is not perfect. You're getting a little bit of a different view. That should be a more red on that fence in the back, and that tree should be a little more brown. It does look like it's compensating for the orange since there's so much of it. But since the center of my image is this wind chime, that in itself is actually a pretty cool photo. But the color, again, isn't as accurate as you're going to want it, especially if you're some sort of professional. It's probably more darker along this route, see, than it is straight on. So that is probably a more correct kind of look for the outside than this straight on what you're getting. So that is a little bit unfortunate, but again, not bad if you're just using it for some fun stuff, especially for scrapbooking. Now, where we get into the real problem is this photo right here. This is a photo of the moon was right there in the shot, but of course you can't see it. Didn't expect that to be the case, but you see a lot of red bleeding in here, especially on this image. And if you can kind of see, you can kind of see the printing effect, the lines coming up and down through there. So this isn't very good, especially if you're doing like a large panorama shot. Now it looks better through the viewfinder here and because of the lighting. But again, it's very light on the edges. Anything white kind of has a red tint to it. And so that's kind of what you get as kind of a set of photos, looking at them from a distance, of course, or something really in the black and white works much better. So what I'm going to do now is let's take an actual photo here. So what I have is this tin of various teas that my girlfriend got me that are fantastic, and it shows, it's a really good image to come out of the camera because we have a lot of different colors in one area, and you can be able to compare them really good. So we have like a very kind of red, a purple, a kind of a green mint, and yellow down there. So what you do is we'll do this as close as we can to the camera here. So I'm gonna have to adjust myself, if you'll excuse me. Okay, we're ready to go. I bumped the camera button off because I'm great at this, so we're just gonna take a shot. There we did. That beep was the shot taken. And now we just wait. Of course, this is a terrible shooting angle and everything, but this gives you a good indication of how fast it is. So we'll wait. Takes a little bit of time. How's everyone doing? Again, don't expect to be taking shots in rapid succession. It's not super slow, but it does take quite a bit of time. So again, this is more a fun camera than anything, but I don't want to move it around. And that's the image we got coming in with the colors. That is not good at all. The shot was also pretty moving around, and so I won't blame that one. But let's do something easier then, that's stationary, that's simple. So we have this little squid kid amiibo, and I can actually set this shot up pretty nicely. There we go. And that should give us a solid photo without any motion or movement. Again, you just wasted a shot of paper because you don't have any way to see the image other than the viewfinder. A little old-fashioned. Of course, I don't mind because they sent me some of this paper, but I'm going to assume it's not the cheapest paper in the world, so you do want to set your shots up nicely. Okay, and again, there is a light here in this room, kind of a office light, white light kind of thing to help light the set, so you're going to get some of that. Again, that's what you get when looking at it. Not very good on those colors. I'm going to say that the light has something to do with it. So again, this is not something you're probably going to want to use inside. This is not something that you're going to want to use in a space with any sort of fluorescent lighting or low light situations. It's just not going to work well for you. As you can see in this photo that we just took, it's kind of just really bad overall. But if you are outside, if you have good lighting and in doing something with family and friends outside, this is a fairly fun option to take neat shots. I do like the black and white feature. This is very good. And when you are well lit, that 5 megapixels does okay, even if the colors aren't all that great. So just be aware of that. If you're looking at this as a camera that you want to use as your main camera, that's a bad idea. Your phone is going to be far better at that. But if you're looking for a fun camera for the family, for your kids, just out on adventure at the park, just for the novelty of it, you may want to look at one of these. For running about $60, that is not a bad investment to have for a fun day out. Again, it's not going to replace any of your cameras, and it's just more of a novelty feature. But you can still, with a little bit of work, get some pretty neat shots. Look at him. Get some pretty neat shots if you take your time to practice it. But again, every shot you take, you are going to be wasting the ink. And in those individual packets, I don't remember how many they were. I believe there was like 10 or 12 or something, maybe 20. I don't remember. But they are fairly expensive. Now, I don't know how the system exactly works from the machine itself, so I'm not sure if the quality is going to get better the more you use it and the more it kind of breaks in or not, but that's just something to be aware of. So this is the Kodak Printomatic, the unboxing and our little overview review of it. It's fine if you know what you're going to use it for. Don't think of this as a replacement in any way. Just go out, have some fun shots for, you know, $60, $50, however much it is. It's still a little bit of fun to get some cool shots and stickers, just like you would with the old Polaroids back in the day. So that's it for us. Hopefully you like what you saw here. You can leave a comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. That helps us out a lot. If you like this content in any way and you want to show your support or support us in our writing, our reviews, and video content, you can just buy us a coffee. The link is in the description below. So until next time, you guys have a fantastic week, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.